You're listening to Rodney Rogers Outdoors Radio, where we turn it upside down and look at the outside from the inside out. It's safe, it's legal, and we're having a blast. So put your shoes on, my friend, because we're going outdoors.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers Outdoors. I am Rodney Rogers. That right there is my partner, Coach He's in Crime, Mike the Man himself, Coy, who's
I must say, again, I love
what
you've done to this place.
I almost bet you could have said that. You were going to say that.
I love it.
Thank you so much. We had a little bit of hitch in our get along, but we are back up and running. You know what? That's the thing.
I have never seen a hitch in your get along.
They come. They're kind of hidden hitches, you know. When they get me, let me tell you. So here we are in a new studio. For those of you watching for the first time, we actually have two studios.
Welcome to Rodney Rogers' creepy haunted Halloween
studio.
I swear, this guy over here is watching me.
The guy
His eyes are moving with me.
He's like, that would be cool, man. I'd do some kind of animatronics in there, just like have him watch him.
But I do have a question for you.
Absolutely, quest away.
Have you ever pee-peed on a tree and have the deer come up one by one and smell it?
I have done it. I
know that's an odd question to ask.
No, it's happened. Because you know what? The cool thing is we got a question about does scent and grunt calls work? And I'm like, well, if you're grunting when you're peeing on a tree and a deer comes, it works.
There's something to that, right?
I've done it.
That's bizarre.
So yes, it actually works. I'm glad you. Great question.
I'm intuitive. I pay attention, Rodney.
I will tell you that. I will tell you this tonight. Our hashtag RROR will not come to us tonight, but it will still flash Mike's lights at his house. I'm just. It will still flash his lights. So you're more than welcome to hashtag us and see if his lights flash. It would be absolutely awesome if it worked.
So, yes.
So, yeah. Okay. So we are live. It is working. We got the feed up and running. Good job, Mike.
I don't know what's going on, Rodney.
Yeah. So, Mike, hashtag RROR will not work tonight. I'm working on that.
Yeah, and I apologize because it's actually on the lower third, so ignore that part. But don't even call. Can they call? They can't call. They can't.
No, they can't call.
We can't even prove we're live at this point.
I know. But it won't come in this phone, right?
I don't know.
Computer. Okay.
Rodney, I don't even know.
We don't even know where this is going. So this is our second studio. It's brand new. This is our second show here. So we're going to be switching back and forth to studios. We're going to be adding another show during the week at some point. Just me, him, Han. So
I can say I don't know what's going to go on, but this is we've opened up a whole new bag of worms here.
Yes, and I'm excited about it. I think this is going to it's going to be like a midweek something, and we'll have more guests on the show. We'll have. I mean, it's going to be. I think it's going to open up some doors. So I'm totally excited about it, 100% excited about it, and not to mention, and I just want to point out that everything that you see behind me, I harvested myself, with the exception of the big fish that's on your right, and that was from my grandfather, and when he passed away, because I'm the fisherman, they gave me the fish. I was hoping that Pappy stuffed it with money, but no.
When was it caught? Do you know?
That fish was caught in the 80s.
Okay.
Yeah, in the early 80s.
Okay.
So it's been mounted for a while, and it's so I got the fish, and I'm very proud to keep that fish. When he caught that fish, it was 8 pounds. Now it's about 1.5 pounds, but it looks like an 8-pounder. They stuff these things with foam. So the fish in the center of us is a 13-pounder.
That's again huge fish.
Oh yeah,
huge fish. Sorry.
Okay, so yeah, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, we got this. So we just got a text that from our buddy Rick. We are good live. Everything's up and running. So we're getting out there. These little things will. Mike, are you impressed with my setup? How did I do?
I'm really impressed.
I mean, did I do good?
Can they hear us? Can they see us?
That's apparently I did something right.
Cha-ching! Come on back to me, buddy.
So
I don't know if online, if they can tell.
Right.
I don't know what we've said already, but this is a huge fish.
Yeah.
And you said that this is actually the fish, because a lot of time taxidermy is just it's a replica, it's a mold, it's plastic.
Exactly.
It's nothing to do with the real fish you pulled out of the water.
That's exactly right. And the reason is so you can put these fish back in. And I'll say it's I was rushing this fish to the Bass Pro Shop to put it in the tank. And I have a canoe with a live well in it. But my live well doesn't have an aerator, so I'd have to stop every few miles and aerate the live well myself.
I can appreciate it. When I travel, I have to stop every few miles and
get aerated.
Aerate myself.
Exactly. So, this is a skin mount. I didn't want it to be, but it is.
Skin mount, that's what they're calling it.
It's called a skin mount. So, when she passed away, I took her to the taxidermist, and I had it mounted on both sides. Now, I will tell you this. If you have your fish mounted on both sides, you will pay double the price of what it costs to mount a fish.
Really?
Absolutely, because they have to do the same thing to the other side that you get on one side. So they're not afraid to tell you. I'm mounting both sides, great. That's twice the fish. So I just mounted 2 fish with this one fish.
Do most people do that? Or they
no. It's like that fish is one-sided. Every fish you see on the wall is just one-sided. There's no reason to finish off the other side because you don't see it. So
especially on a wall mount. But this one's actually a 3D.
This is called a pedestal mount. So you can actually walk all the way around and see the gorgeousness of this fish. And what's funny is this fish that you see behind me, does that look like it bigger than this fish?
It does not.
The belly on this fish weighed out at 13.6. So the fish was shorter, but it was fatter.
Okay.
So, and this is why I iterate, it's important to find that great taxidermist, because if you find one that's not so good, fish are 80% water. They will literally shrink up to nothing.
That's why time is critical.
Time is critical. So if you put this fish on a farm that's smaller than what the fish actually is, it will shrink up like shrink wrap to that fish.
It's bizarre.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. So when you're going to mount a fish, if it's a full skin mount, by all means, get out there and do your research. Matter of fact, do your research before you catch that fish. You got to measure it. You got to get all your stuff right. Always measure your girth and all that stuff. So
do you do it locally? Do you send it out to do it?
No, I do it locally. I try to find a taxidermist. The taxidermist that did this one actually moved to Colorado. The one that did this one. Now, these are world renowned taxidermists, and he quit doing fish.
Okay.
So just got so busy.
I mean, is this the type of thing you want to interface directly one-on-one with the person doing it, rather than?
Absolutely. You don't, look on pictures online, but you need to go and make sure you are happy with that fish. And I basically walked this in and said, I want this fish to look exactly like you see right now. And one of the things, if you look how thick that tail is, I said, this tail is just thick. It's huge. I mean, it's almost a 13-inch circumference around that tail. Like my arm.
Sure.
And I said, that's how I want it. And, when they mounted it exactly like I saw it. So I was very pleased with
impressive.
it. Yeah.
Very impressive.
So, yeah. So, Mike, where are we at? We're in the new studio. What do we got? Did you bring all your goodies?
I brought some goodies.
Let's have it.
I didn't bring my hashtag RROR, but I brought goodies.
That's next week. We'll spend some more money.
How are the grubs doing, by the way?
Mike, let me tell you about the grubs. Let me tell you what I did. I got one right here in front of me. Let me tell you what I did with these grubs. So, of course, we made grubs. They're made by Mann's.
By what? Mann's
Bait Company.
They're man-made. They're man-made grubs.
Excuse me, they are man-made. And this is absolutely my favorite fishing grub. So much so, I have 2 colors right now. And when I purchase these, I have to purchase them in bulk because they're not going to sell you 2. They just don't sell these. And the only one that sells these is me. So I have to buy these 5,000 at a time. When I get these.
Is this a standard grub?
No, this is not a standard grub. This is what I call the Rodney Rogers Edition grub. You can still get some grubs out there. You got a twin-tailed. This is called a spider grub because it has all these legs up top. You can get a twin-tailed spider grub. So basically, it has 2 of these tails on it, and they both stick out kind of like that. and it's only one grub, but you almost cannot find the single-tailed grub. Now, the reason I love this grub so much is it's a swimming grub, it's a flipping grub, it does all kind of cool stuff. I've caught more big fish. And when I say big fish, I caught 2 11-pounders in 1 week off of this grub. It was amazing. Many 5-pounders.
What are those colors? Are there 2 or 3 different colors?
There's actually these are the same color, but the glitter settled in it a little bit different. It's kind of called pumpkin seed.
Okay.
And then we have the chartreuse. This is pure chartreuse, and man, this is a.
Is that a chartreuse? I wouldn't.
Yeah, man, that is the gorgeous chartreuse. It's great saltwater bait. I mean, it's trout love it. Trout just clean it out. So it's a phenomenal bait. I wanted these 2 colors because this is what works for me. This color, they don't just about make anything in just straight chartreuse like this.
Now, is this the type of bait you need to keep in your mouth to warm up?
No. No. What do you mean? You've been chewing on this grub. I thought you had chewing gum,
Yeah,
Mike.
no, I thought this was the type that Steve Schulteis told me this was the type you needed to warm up.
No, these are not for human consumption. But I will tell you this, they are impregnated with salt. Could you taste the salt in it?
I could actually, yeah.
Could you taste...
I am totally going to be retaining water now. Thank you.
Yes, you will.
Thank you very
You're
much,
welcome.
Steve.
It's garlic impregnated and salt impregnated. Did you taste any garlic at all? I was hoping. Please say it. Just say it was loaded with garlic.
Loaded with the garlic.
So the oil that they use to drip on it, is a lubricant, which is biodegradable. You're safe, man. You may get the running what you call it, but you'll get it. So anyway, we're on the Monsters in the Morning. On Monday mornings, we do a segment on the show, and we talked about these grubs, and we got 100, almost 200 emails with this.
You kind of lit the fire, didn't you?
Dude, I put it on fire. So, having said that, we are going to put these on the website because I got the web guy here. I'm going to put him on the spot.
So what is the product people are going to buy? What is it?
They are going to buy
2 of those, 5 of those.
Well, they'll buy 5 of these.
Okay.
So a bag of these are 5 grubs.
Okay.
So you get 5 of these grubs in a bag for $3.50.
That's
$3.50. That
sounds like
cheap.
a really good deal.
What a deal! That's cheaper than any Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah, because here's one thing I was noticing. Obviously, I wouldn't have had that in my mouth had it had a hook in it.
Right.
Which surprised me that it does not have a hook in it. So how do you catch?
So remember the video that you and I made several years ago?
Yeah.
How to rig this grub? Voila! Get on YouTube. Actually, I'll repost it, and it shows you. Basically, I use this on a Cotee, Cotee jig head. It's a saltwater jig head, and the reason I like this Cotee jig head is because the hook is so strong that it doesn't bend. These bass hooks, when you get jigs, unless you buy the huge jigs, if you just buy a small jig hook, they're so thin, it's almost a wire hook, and it just bends, and it'll bend out a big fish. But these Cotee jig heads are strong. They're made for saltwater fish, and, man, let me tell you what. They will freaking pile up on these things. It's one of my favorite baits. My cousin caught his biggest fish to date, which is 7 pounds, 8 ounces off of this fish. It's actually posted on my Facebook. You got to scroll down a little bit. There's a dude there with a grin like ear to ear. You'll know that's him. And he's got a 7-pounder, and it caught it off this grub. And the video that I just posted this week, I caught off the grub.
So not to derail on grub, but where's the best place to fish with a grub? Is it off the shoreline? Is it?
It is everywhere.
Really?
And honestly, this grub right here, you get in a school of mahi, and I got the man.
Oh, really?
Here, you just flip
Even
it
for
in.
mahi, really?
You just flip it in there, and man, they will gobble that thing up. Let me tell you. So,
wow.
It's just So yeah, it's absolutely perfecto. So
what, the chartreuse?
Yeah.
Yeah, really.
So, Mike, there's about the grub. Thank you for asking. Sorry, I jabbered on a little more on that.
No, I was the one who derailed you with this. There, I'll throw that back in the pile.
Oh, great. So if you want the chewed grub, it's extra.
So
Mike's DNA on the grub.
Since last time we spoke on the air, I believe we've experienced a hurricane.
Yes, we have.
Our friend Matthew passed through, and depending on how you look at it, it's very strange, actually. Today I saw a quick blurb that all the flooding that's going on now in the Carolinas.
Right.
It's so amazing that once this thing passed through, we're like, hey, it's sunshiny again. Yay,
Yeah,
take
for
down the
us.
boards.
Yeah.
And people are flooding out. They're still getting,
Right.
you know, all this nonsense going
we often
on.
forget.
It is amazing how quick we're back to business.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's almost embarrassing. Well, it is embarrassing.
Yeah.
Because we're so,
because even the coast, you know, across from us wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
Sure, yeah. We got lucky, at least for Florida's sake.
Right. Yes.
You know, as it went up into the Georgia and the Carolinas.
St. Augustine got pile drove.
Yeah.
You know, Jacksonville, St. Augustine area got hit really bad. So God bless everybody that friggin' absolutely got slammed.
But I was curious as to, it went through my mind as how something like this does affect, you know, from an outdoors perspective.
Okay.
You know, number one, the wildlife.
Yeah.
Things that you necessarily wouldn't think about.
Right.
On how a hurricane just passing through affects a lot
the
of
whole
things.
ecological system.
Right.
Absolutely.
And so as I was looking through the news from FWC's website, there's a few things that that pertain to this.
You have paper.
I know. You know what? It takes me.
We're gonna need some more computers.
a la Johnny Carson. It felt like the whole kind of. You know,
okay, I got you.
Hey-oh!
Yeah, flip it out.
But FWC says use caution in aftermath of Hurricane Matthew. And there's a few things to point out. Now, some of my questioning as the storm was going through on wildlife and how it affects it. This is more boating because obviously we have a lot of flooding.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the storm surge and everything else. But let me just point out some of the things they're saying. We have some damaged navigation markers and aids to navigation.
Yes.
Derelict vessels and other debris in some waterways, some of which may be submerged
which
and not
broke
visible.
Loose, sunk. I mean, you got to be careful out there. Yeah.
So to just take back, I mean, these are important things. I mean, you got to be cautious. Additionally, some areas still experiencing high waters and flooding may not be accessible. Boaters should be aware of high water areas and the risk of flooding and understand that water bottoms may have dramatically changed as a result of Hurricane Matthew. So when boating, make sure you may not to be able to access areas that you normally would be used to accessing.
Exactly.
Things have changed. So just keep this in mind. Be observant and maintain safe speeds.
Absolutely.
Common knowledge, but
especially
common,
for the
common
first
sense, but
month
think
or
about
so
it.
till we get this figured out.
Yeah, a lot have changed. Lake Toho, you may have heard it. This is news. Now, let it not be said that Rodney Rogers Outdoors is current and relevant. This is as of Tuesday, October 11th.
It's like today.
Thank you very much.
Hot off the press. This is what we call hot off the press. If I got nothing over here. I was just, you know.
Now, and this is one of those stories that you would go like, plants.
Yeah. Plants.
Right?
But these are more than just plants.
FWC is planning to conduct aquatic plant control treatments via helicopter on portions of Lake Toho. Toho.
We'll just call it Toho.
What is the pronunciation of
It is
that?
Tohopekalaja. Do
it again.
Tohopekalaja.
Really?
Yeah. That's the Indian name for sleeping tiger.
Is it really?
I don't know. I'm just making it's pretty cool though, ain't it, dog? It's
I love that.
Yeah, so we got a sleeping tiger.
Let it from here be known that it is the sleeping tiger.
I'm going with it. White man says sleeping tiger.
Toho. Toes. Thank goodness for abbreviations, right?
So Toho.
So on October 13th, which if I'm not mistaken is Thursday,
yes,
270 acres of noxious emergent aquatic plants,
also known as hydrilla,
scheduled for treatment along the shore of Lake Toho, weather permitting, of course. The 4 targeted plant species.
Okay, so hydrilla is
water primrose.
Yes.
Cattail. Pickerel weed.
Ooh, not the pickerel weed.
And spatterdock.
So no.
And I wish I would have got like spatterdock@gmail.com because that's very.
Can we not get that?
Oh,
we got to get the spatterdock.
We probably just lost it. We just gave it.
I'm going to get a hat that says spatterdock.
Also known as cow lily.
Cow lily. So no hydrilla. So, okay, so they're spraying the shoreline itself, yeah.
So, but again, you read the highlights or the headlines and you think plants, but
Yeah.
it's saying these plants grow aggressively and if left unmanaged, promote the buildup of organic sediment at the bottom of the lake and can result in degradation of fish spawning
Yes.
and
Asparagus.
aquatic asparagus in Rodney's Toho chili. I don't know how they.
What? Well, we're gonna do that one day.
These plants can outcompete other plant species, desirable for fish and wildlife, and reduce recreational access to shallow portions of the lake. Spatterdock.
Spatterdock. That's my old stripper name back in the day.
.com.
Spatterdock.
Let it be known the herbicides are safe and approved by the U.S. Environmental Protection Agency.
First of all, while they approve it,
Say it. What do you got?
I am not a believer in that. Let it grow. I mean, unfortunately,
Really?
yeah, because here's the problem. Here's the problem. The problem.
Problemo.
They're only spraying a section of it because they know it's going to push the fish out. It's going to smother the fish out. It's not going to kill anything, but fishing in that area is going to be absolutely horrible for the next 4 or 5 months. I mean,
Maybe
it's
so,
just-
but this says the Spatterdock treatments will create access for recreational users
Mhm.
and provide edges within plant beds for angling.
And love bugs were supposed to eat mosquitoes.
In 6 months.
I don't think I like your attitude.
I'm just saying,
All right.
leave the weeds alone.
No treatment-related restrictions on fishing, swimming,
There we go. Of course not.
or irrigation are
First
necessary.
of all, I mean, if you look at the side effects, can you drink it? You know what I mean? That's kind of
That's a rhetorical question, I'm assuming.
okay. All right. I'll leave that one alone. Let's.
Okay, lastly, Rodney.
Okay,
Lastly, okay?
Okay.
Wasn't a lot of news,
Yeah.
but this one provided for some fun tips and facts. FWC provides tips for coexisting with bats.
Okay. Old bats.
Bats. And one
Okay.
of the reasons being that with Hurricane Matthew passing through,
Mm-hmm.
it disrupted some of maybe their homes.
Yeah.
They're finding new places to live in some circumstances,
Right.
including maybe your attic, depending on where you live,
Right.
and your abode that you have.
I know a spot that's got a lot of bats.
Some bats were displaced in recent storms due to damage and may be looking for new places to call home. They might want to share yours. Okay? So here's how to take stock and prepare.
Okay.
Check for any gaps and spaces that might give them access points. Bats can squeeze into a hole as big as a nickel
Okay.
or bigger. Like,
Or bigger.
Well, if they can get through this.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, right.
Right.
It's or bigger. So I actually had to. Sorry. Yeah, if they can get through this, they could probably get through
Obviously
this.
bigger. Yeah. Through a nickel, or
Unnecessary verbiage there. Sorry, FTV.
somebody typed that up. It's like
Yeah,
or
Tony Young is
bigger.
like cursing at me
Oh
right
yeah,
now.
he's probably going to throw something at us.
If you're trying to remove bats from your dwelling, check this out.
What?
Exclusion is the only legal and appropriate method. Right?
What?
Check
Okay.
this out. And I'm gonna turn this.
listening,
I'm
I'm
gonna
listening.
quit flying this plane and turn this back over to you, Rodney.
Okay.
Bat exclusion is a multi-step technique.
I like this already. Anything that's yeah.
Where all potential bat entry and exit points in a building are identified.
Okay.
Got it?
Right.
Once they're identified, a one-way exit device is installed to allow the bats one way to leave.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Once they're out,
They close the
you
hole
seal them up.
and they're good.
Have you got this? Because this is the only legal way to do it, Rodney.
I know. Really? Yeah, because they're protected. You can't swat a bat with a Bible. I don't care if you're care who you are. You cannot swat a bat with a Bible. It's. I know a guy that killed a lot of bats with the Bible because he thought it wasn't going to come back. Yeah, his name was.
I think
Spatterdock.
we've just got a show title.
His name was Spatterdock.
You cannot swat a bat with a Bible.
You cannot swat a bat with the Bible. We need a guitar. We've
We
been
have
known
derailed
to
beyond.
fly off.
Okay.
Woo!
So, so you
Okay.
identify the points, you seal them off.
That makes
There's a
sense.
one way so they can get out but can't get back in.
Yeah.
You seal it off.
and you wait till nighttime, and they all
If you
fly
need
out.
a diagram of this, you can actually go to the FWC website and they'll spell
Man,
that
that
out.
FWC is, you don't even know the information that's loaded on that thing.
Poison relocations and fumigations are illegal to use in Florida
That's exactly right.
and are also ineffective at saying. Bats are ecologically and economically beneficial and are protected by Florida law. One bat can consume hundreds of insects in a night. There are 13 resident bats in Florida, and all feed on night flying insects. This saves U.S. farmers. that means, really, are we done with this?
No. Actually, I didn't know. I got to say, I didn't know there was 13 species.
13 species in the state of Florida, all protected. You're not inviting. You're not inviting me back after this bat rampage, are
I
you?
absolutely was interested. I love bats.
I'm about done with my bat
Come
rant.
back, bats. I was married to an old bat
Oh,
once.
we're off. There are 13
sure.
species.
I'm your coffee.
13 species, all protected, but they control insects and damage control. And okay, Rodney, let's cut to the chase.
Come on.
True or false? There's an epidemic of rabies in bats.
No, false.
That is absolutely false.
Yeah, that is such a big myth.
And you know what? Actually, only 1 or 2, 3 cases of rabies are reported annually in the United States.
Right.
So everybody's like, "Oh, rabies from the
yeah.
squirrels,
No.
rabies from it's
Stop.
stop, please."
Stop.
If one bat in a colony is rabid, they're all sick.
Okay.
True or false? No, not okay.
Okay.
If one is sick, they're all rabid.
That's true.
That is false.
Okay. I had a 50-50 shot at it.
All grounded bats
Okay.
are sick.
No, that is false.
That is false.
Yeah.
These are all false.
Okay.
Young bat pups sometimes become grounded when they're learning to fly.
False.
I was explaining the last one,
Oh.
but you
I'm on it. I'm on this.
all people exposed to bats will get rabies.
Oh, I want to say true, but that's false. That's very false.
Bats are attracted. Bats regularly attack people.
No, my gosh, that's false.
Maybe in self-defense, but that's it. Only
That's
when
it.
disturbed. Bats are attracted to human hair.
Are they?
Have you heard that?
Yeah, it's false.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bats do not aim for a person's hair. Bats are excellent flyers.
Yeah.
They're capable of maneuvering with great agility and complete darkness to catch a very small insect.
How?
They won't swoop close to your face. They may swoop close to your face, but if you don't panic and thrash about, you're fine.
Yeah.
Okay, we're almost done, Rodney. All bats suck blood.
Actually, there's only one. It's false, but there's only like one vampire bat, and it's in Africa. Yeah.
Very close.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you to be all bats native to Florida eat insects.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. Absolutely.
None of them suck blood.
Right.
3 species of vampire found in
Gotcha.
Central and South America.
Okay.
3 species.
Gotcha.
Bats chew wires and holes in buildings.
I'd say no.
Yeah, they're all false.
Oh, they're all false. I forgot about that.
The teeth for each bat
False.
species are specifically adapted for only
Oh.
chewing particular types of food they consume, such as insects. Like a
Yeah.
little
Little
tiny,
bitty, itty bitty.
little tiny, little bitty tiny.
We're gonna buy a real drum for a real drum roll.
What else you got, Rodney?
I'm just saying. So,
Here's the deal.
so here's the deal.
You ready?
I'm ready. All right. Lay it on me. There we go. Whoa.
Right.
What way?
This one's on me.
Okay. Mike,
I
we're
did-
missing some stuff here. We're missing.
How many people just went, what?
What? You know how many people you just.
Hold the phone.
You know what? Email your hostility at mike@rodneyrogersoutdoors.com. And it ends right there.
It ends right
Okay.
there, Rodney.
Well,
Sorry,
dang
man.
it.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
We do have some questions
Lay it on me.
for today. I have a 2-piece fishing rod. The lower piece tip where you insert the top piece is cracked. How do I fix this?
You buy another fishing rod.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that a losing battle?
It's a losing battle. I mean, there's a couple things you can do to stretch this along and endure a little bit more, but just go ahead and buy another fishing pole. Absolutely. First of all, if you're fishing with a 2-piece fishing pole, it's always subject to break and crack at those places where you put it together. It's just a point where it's the weakest point of the rod.
That is a 2-piece not the ideal way to do it?
No, I mean 2-piece is a great rod. There's tons of them.
They fit in your car
I've got
better,
a
right?
$700 5-piece.
Really?
That's sitting over there. They're great rods. You just got to take extra care. What I have is a fly rod, but I mean, you have to take extra care. 2-piece rods. I mean, they fit in your cars especially the 12-foot, shore rods. The beach rods.
You have to take them apart.
You got to take them apart. You're not going to
them,
put that in your car. So yeah, there's a lot of great rods that are 2-piece, but eventually they just wear out. Because every time you put them together, you push it a little harder, you squeeze a little fatter, and it gets, and eventually it just wears out and snaps. So yeah,
probably sooner than later.
Yeah. I mean, there's probably people out there that could fix it, but it's just a lot better. Unless it's a $900 rod, I'd say go buy another rod. That's your best route.
You know what? Honesty is the best policy, right?
Man, it is.
That is from Matt from Pompano Beach.
Right on, Matt. Thank you, buddy.
Florida. Rich from Lakeland, Florida wants to know, I want to learn how to read the water. You've talked about this before.
Yes.
I want to learn how to read the water, whether I am fishing from the bank or in a boat. Could you please help me, Rodney?
So here's a couple methods. When you say read the water, the video I just posted of a bass that I just caught, the 5-pound video, I went over it with you, and reading the water means a couple different things. Where do you think the fish are? Where you think they're going to be? Do you see structure in there? Do you see weeds? So there's a lot of things to read in water. How old is the pond? Does the pond have fish? So there's several different reasons you want to read a pond. One is if you find clams, look along the shoreline. If you find clams, look at that clam. The general rule is every ring on that clam is a year. And I know it sounds very mythical.
Sure.
But I did the studies on it. It's supposedly real. So if I see a clam, if the pond's 2 or 3 years old or 5 years old, you're going to have some kind of fish in it. But let's just say we got a 20-year-old pond, and we want to read that pond and know where the fish are. Well, that video, and look on my website, you'll see me make some casts in between a pot of grass and a drain. So I know something is in that drain, and I know something is potential in that grass. So I'm casting in between so they both can see as I pull my lure through there. So, as I'm pulling my lure through there, I'm hoping they both see it. Well, I noticed a bird flew off and a big fish swam off. So I made another cast in there to see if I could get that fish. But then I saw something move on the far right side of the grass. So I cast ahead of what I thought might be a potential bass. And as I brought that lure right by it, sure enough, that's where I caught the 5-pounder. So, I mean, you could see all that happening and the amount of cast that I cast to this one spot. So you can see it. It's like it's coming at you. I'm casting here, I'm casting there, and all that is method to the madness. I always say that fishing is like playing a guitar. The more you fish, the better songs you're going to play.
That's very good.
It's kind of weird. And fishing, to be a continually successful fisherman, it's important to get out there and fish. I can teach you how to get out there and catch fish. That's one thing. But to catch fish on a consistent basis and big fish is like that next level fisherman stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So reading a pond is very important. Who sent that question?
That's Rich from Lakeland,
Rich,
Florida.
man,
That's
you
very
are the man. That's a great
very
question.
interesting you say that because you've talked about this before, but I think that nuance, the more you fish, you start feeling the nuances of the rod and
Right.
the heaviness of the line and
Yep.
all these things that you talk about, you can mentally comprehend, but till you start tactically feeling them, and you only get that through experience.
Absolutely. Hooks make it successful. The types of hooks, are your hooks sharp? Are they dull? All that comes with experience, So it's key that you take all that knowledge and put it in what I call your mental tackle box.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how that rolls. So,
Interesting analogy with the musician and playing the song, though.
and it is. It really is.
Because
It's
a beginning guitar player can play a C chord, but an experienced guitar plays a C, and it just sounds, it's the
5
nuance,
different versions
the
of the C
nuances
chord.
of it.
Exactly. So you can
Interesting.
play a song with just the C chord and, you know, and play a different note every time. So
Brilliant.
it's just, and fishing's the same way.
Yep.
You know, it really is. You can go offshore fishing and you think because there's an ocean out there that I'm going to catch fish. Well, that's not the case. You know, trolling has method to its madness, the types of baits, you know, and the speed of which you troll. And, you know, and then some people would pass a bucket up. You know, they go, oh, there's just a bucket. Well, it's the only structure in 100 miles.
Yeah.
Fish by the bucket.
Yep.
You know, so it's, you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, the more you fish, the better you're going to get. So reading the lake is very important. Reading the water, I always say, is essential.
Here's an interesting one. Sean from Brunswick, Georgia,
Come on, Sean.
wants to know, is breasting ducks illegal? So let's take it from
That wasn't funny. Yeah,
take it from the top, Rodney,
Okay.
because this is
So let's just
I have no idea
let's
what that means.
dissect when he says breasting duck. So what he's saying, if I shoot a duck, can I just take the breast only and toss it?
Is that what that
That's what he
really?
means. Yeah, just cut the breast out.
People do that?
Absolutely. There's not a lot of meat on a duck, kind of like a quail.
Okay.
You know, when you quail and dove hunt, all you do is pull the breast out and move on along. So unless you're starving, there's just not. Are some ducks that have great, you know, leg meat, and you could skin the whole duck.
I'm assuming it's illegal, first of all, right?
No, it is legal. Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah.
It is legal.
Yeah, you can. It's illegal to shoot a duck and toss it in the grass. That is illegal. Like the Muscovy ducks.
Okay.
You know, even though, you know, they're all over the place, they're legal to kill year round. It is illegal to kill them and toss them in the yard. So it is illegal to it's up to you what you want to eat off of it. You know what I mean?
So you can do that with these,
Yeah.
but you just have to count it as one of your ducks that you caught.
That's one of your ducks, absolutely.
But you could leave the carcass.
Yeah, not on the lake. You cannot clean your duck till you get home.
Oh, okay.
So you can't be on the lake and just breast the duck. And if that's what he means, then
So what is the definition of breasting ducks?
the definition of breasting a duck is killing a duck, splitting it open, taking the breast out, and tossing the duck.
On the lake?
No, in the garbage.
Oh, in the garbage.
Yeah. So just getting rid of it. You know, just getting rid of it.
So once you're home, it's whatever you
Yeah,
whatever you decide to keep.
Whatever
is,
you decide to keep is up to you.
Okay.
Or you could freeze it and take it to the taxidermist and let the taxidermist breast it out.
Okay.
You know, so that's the key. And you know, let me put a little something to the myth.
Why would that be illegal, though? What? I mean,
It wouldn't be illegal.
Okay.
It's not.
I mean, but why would somebody think that it would be? If I take it?
Your laws are weird.
Okay.
You know, they think if you shoot something hunting, you have to eat the whole thing, and that's
Okay.
not the case.
Okay.
You know, because when you alligator hunt, if you harvest an alligator, the first thing they ask, did you eat the meat? Did you keep it?
And you don't have to.
You can toss the whole
Yeah.
alligator if you want. You know, but if you decide to, call me,
Mm-hmm.
hit us up, you know,
Sure.
and we'll take it off your hands, you know, but, you know, that, yeah, it's not illegal to breast a duck.
Okay.
You know, because most ducks, teals, you know, the small ducks, I breast. You know, that's all I do is
Okay.
just breast.
Another duck question from @Taylor99 says, "May I give someone else my ducks during the hunt?"
Actually, you can, but here's the process. If you and I are duck hunting and you say, I go, man, I'm not going to clean these, and you go, I will take them. Well, first of all, you're only allowed 6 ducks. I don't care if you don't own a shotgun. If you're standing on the bank and I hand you my 6 ducks, you better have a duck license. If I give you my ducks, now I have to tag these ducks with my name, with my address, and my hunt license, and I got to give that to you for these 6 ducks. So the game warden can call me, and my phone number, and the game warden can call me and say, hey, Mike's got 12 ducks. Yeah, I just gave him 6. Okay, well, we have your info here for the 6 ducks. Now, in the state of Florida, if you're traveling a long distance with your ducks, you got to tag all your ducks now. So, I mean, there's a tag method. So get on the FWC, and it tells you how to do that. You know, it tells you how to fill out the tag, you know, with your name, address, and all your information, and it has to go on each duck. It's just a band that goes on each duck. you can make the
So
band
it's
up.
just like gator hunting where you're tagging the tail. You do that
Yeah.
with the duck
Yeah.
around their legs or something?
Just
I'm
yeah,
assuming?
just wherever.
Okay.
Staple, whatever. Just put it with the duck. You can put them all in a bag, put all the tags in a bag,
Okay.
and I can go, here's my ducks.
Okay.
That way, if you get stopped,
Six
six
tags,
ducks are yours.
6 ducks.
6 ducks are Rodney's.
Okay.
He gave them to me. He didn't want them.
Okay.
So that's how that works. Now, you're still only allowed 12 in possession.
So
I just threw a wrench in your works, didn't I?
Yeah.
You're allowed 6 ducks a day, 12 in possession. Meaning, if he comes to your house to check your freezer,
okay.
you better not have more than 12 ducks.
Okay.
So that makes sense.
But
That rarely happens.
But if we're out, based on Taylor 99's question, may I give someone else my ducks during the hunt? First of all, why would that even be a question?
Some people do it. Some people hunt just for the fun. They don't like duck meat. They don't care about duck meat. They don't even want to try duck meat.
So I've shot it and you go, no, you can have mine.
Yeah,
I'm not taking it home.
Right. Here's my ducks.
But your cumulative better not be more than 12.
That's exactly
even if
right.
I hand you 4 of them.
Yeah. Eat 6 tonight. You'll be good to go tomorrow. Yeah.
La 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 la.
Oh, no. No, you cannot. No. So the question was,
Oh, yeah.
after I give you my 6, can I shoot 6 more? Absolutely not. You, as a duck hunter with a duck license and a stamp, are only allowed 6 ducks a day. Now,
That's a good question.
yeah, it is a very good question. And I said it a million times, when I'm duck hunting, if I knock down 6 ducks, to me, that is a 6 duck harvest. I don't shoot 6 more ducks
You're
because
done.
I can find them. 99% of most hunters will shoot 6 more ducks. I didn't find none of them ducks. I'm going to shoot some more ducks. That's not how it is done. You shoot 6 ducks, it is
Okay.
over. You can't find them, then maybe you need to hunt in a better spot where you need to be pay a little attention. I'm going to do something a little different this year. You ever seen that slingshot that shoots the tennis ball for the dogs? I'm going to carry that slingshot. It sounds funny. And when I down my duck, I'm going to shoot my tennis ball to where that duck lays. So, because it's yellow and it
Okay.
floats.
Okay.
And I know exactly where that duck went down. Because what happens is when you shoot a duck, sometimes they flop. They'll even dive and die underwater and get caught in the grass. So if I shoot that tennis ball to where that duck dropped, I'll have a lot better chance of finding my duck.
I was going to be much more impressed if you were going to shoot the duck with the tennis ball, though.
That would be awesome. I don't even know if that's illegal.
I thought that's where you were going with that.
So no, I'm going to
Game
try.
warden be like, I've never seen this one before.
I'm just going to poof.
I'm going to give you a gold star.
Yeah. And that's going to allow me to go out to that within that general area. Because a lot of times a lot of hunters will down 2 or 3 ducks before they go out and get them. And they'll go, "I'd name it, Roy. Where the heck did I shoot that?" Well, I thought you get 2 hunters that were in the boat that saw it at 2 different angles. One swears it was 100 yards over here. The other one swears it was 100 yards over here. Meanwhile, he's in the middle, and you've lost your duck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try something a little different this year. I want to be successful in finding my ducks.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The
Voila.
Johnny McEnroe approach.
Yeah, exactly. Serve 2, exactly. So,
All right.
woo, that's a sick letter song right there.
Next week,
But the whole spiel,
and I just
be like the whole deal.
the whole thing.
We'll get the whole
All
shablangy.
Yeah.
So,
Reserve it all at once.
So-
So, anyways, good questions.
yeah, phenomenal.
Yeah,
question.
good questions. And we got an upcoming show because we've been getting a lot of response
Yeah,
with the questions. And so, number one, we want to encourage that.
oh gosh, yeah, absolutely.
Couple ways of doing that. Email, of course. Go to the website. You can email Rodney at Rodney Rogers Outdoors. You can click on the microphone. You can just speak your question.
Absolutely.
If speaking is more
Actually,
your thing.
Get on that microphone and just say some stuff. It's actually pretty cool.
You can call the number, the 262-453-456-3493 number,
262-345-7763.
or that one, whatever. Give or take a number.
We cheat at your house because we got it written up on the. Man, you've done very well, Mike.
7763.
You're like very minimal equipment.
Or you can Facebook us.
Oh, by all means, yeah.
Which I think, if you'll, that wasn't too planned out, was it, Rodney?
We've got to
that-
buy more stuff.
That
Mike.
screenshot.
I know.
You're
That's
like,
the
I'm gonna
first thing.
scream.
I got a great question from Scott
Do you remember the question?
that
that would
follows
be.
us on Facebook. And let me see if I can piece this question together. Scott said, Rodney, do you use grunt, calls like these duck calls? Do you use calls and scent when deer hunting? And then I explained I definitely use scent because it hides my scent. But we have to remember that deer are very curious.
That's impossible, Rod.
It is impossible.
Just saying. Just keeping it
Fresh
real.
shower in the morning. Don't
Keeping
do
it
me
real.
no just. I take a bath once a month, whether I need it or not, Mike Coy. I'm just saying. So I'm a very firm believer in doe scents, and I put them on my boots. So when I walk to my tree stand, they really don't, because, the old adage, and honestly, I cannot absolutely say positively for certain that it's been proven that a deer will not cross your path. I mean, the adage is it is. I need to Google on YouTube, and someone finds it on YouTube of a deer coming across somebody's scent. A lot of times a deer picks up. Man, I say they have a sixth scent, like a tiger.
Okay.
A tiger can pick up stuff that's just in the woods. They have a sixth scent.
Well, when we first started, I made some off
Right.
color remark about peeing on a tree, but this question is where
It
this
has actually
stemmed from. Is
happened to
you were
me.
replying to
Because here's what happened is I kind of dug a little hole about 40 yards from my tree stand, and I thought if I take a pee-pee in this hole and then bury it, man, this was my logic. I don't know why, but
because you were 6.
deer rely on their sense of smell. So I dig a hole, I go and I cover it back up, and it wasn't long. I get up my tree stand. These deer are coming right to that spot, man. They're smelling the bottom of that, right where I dug that hole, and I thought this is probably the weirdest thing So, deer are curious. I mean, they come to noise. They come to smells.
Sure.
They want to know.
Sure.
They don't necessarily know it's a human. They just know it's something different.
Yeah, but that goes to show that the whole scent thing, there's something
Right.
to that.
And I'll give you this. If I sprayed on Jupe cologne and smacked you with a bat once a day, it wouldn't be long before you were sleeping and you smelled Jupe cologne come in your room. You knew damn well you was about to get smacked with a
You're
bat.
associated, yeah.
So, and this is not different, so this is no different. If a hunter, pretty soon these deer are going to hate each other because they smell like a doe and they get smacked with a bat anyway.
No, that's a good point.
Or pop.
I had never really associated that with that.
Yeah,
But you're right.
Yeah.
The gun sounds, death. I mean, the
Absolutely.
human smell. It's all got to be associated.
It's all it's all correlation. It's all related in a sense that I think, and I've said this for years. I mean, you can be successful in a public hunting area. You have to do things that other people aren't doing. You really have to. And I've brought a lot of success on public hunting areas. I mainly hunt during archery season. I've never hunted archery season without at least shooting at a buck or a doe. It's never happened, So I'm not saying I harvested. I didn't say if I was back in the Indian days, I wouldn't be so fat. Sure. I guarantee you that. But once I honed in my archery skills and then I started harvesting. So, for me, it's you got to be a hunter. You can get on private land. You can put a corn feeder out there, and you can hunt off that corn feeder. That's not hunting. I don't care who you are. I know a lot of people do it, and I know it's legal.
Sure.
But I'm not downing you for it. Heck, if I had the private land and I could do it, I would do it. But when you hunt public land, you have to be a hunter. You've got to go out ahead of time. You've got to get out there and scout. You got to find out where these animals are, their habitats, they're sleeping, they're bedding, and you have to hunt. And that's just how I've always done it. I killed my first deer, which is a spike, and I still have his horns, barefooted at 40 degrees, hunting barefooted in a swamp.
Wow.
The guy that I was hunting with was a hunter, and he was like, take them boots off. They were pretty sloshy with that.
Oh, really?
Oh, man, I thought I was going to get hypodermia up in there.
Wow.
Hyperspermia or whatever they call it.
Hypothermia.
I thought I was going to die, but I hunted barefooted, and I killed my first deer barefooted in the swamp, 45 degrees, So I know the temperature just went up 5 degrees, but it was cold. It was probably around 65,
that.
but I'm telling you, it felt like 40, Mike. So
That's crazy.
and that taught me early, in my life, you just got to hunt. It's not a matter of corn. Back when I was a kid, was not. Yeah, man, you went to jail if you hunted over corn.
Wow.
We paid a lot of fines for doing stuff like that, But now it's if you put it out a certain time of year, it's perfectly legal. I don't do that, and I'm not saying if you do it, great, man. If I could do it, I would. I'm not saying better your chances.
So the moral of the story: if you have questions, you can text them to us.
Sorry, did I just go off on a
I don't even know.
rampage here?
That was great.
That was I was going on an
No,
old man
because
tangent.
we had a question come in on Facebook.
Yeah,
They just hit you up on Facebook.
yeah.
But
So Scott,
whatever.
Yeah, Scott
hit
us
hit up Rodney. I mean, these
Yeah.
are because these are great questions. You get bombarded by them all the time, even
I
when you're
do.
not on the air or on social media.
Right.
You're walking, meeting people and getting these questions
Absolutely.
all the time.
I get tons of hunting, fishing questions, and the reason. Where are we at on time? Am I like?
You're good. You got better than 5 minutes.
Okay, so I got 5 minutes. So the reason it's not that I know everything about hunting. It's just because when you hunt, if you read through the laws and the books, man, you're going to boggle your mind. So I always say pick what you're going to hunt for. If you're going to hunt quail, pick quail. Look on the FWC, go through all the stuff. Go to hunting, go down to seasons, and go to quail.
Yeah.
It's going to tell you what you can shoot, where you can shoot it, what you can shoot it with, when you can shoot it, and how many you can have when you're done shooting. You know what I mean? And that's what you want to do. Okay, I'm hunting quail. And I've said it a million times. The first year I hunted duck, the whole season, I never pulled out my shotgun. I pulled out my binoculars. I still bought my stamp. This is my 15th year. I still bought my stamp. I still went around like I was hunting, still decked out in camouflage, but I hunted with binoculars. And to me, to this day, it's still my favorite day of duck hunting.
Wow.
I seen some amazing ducks that day, man. It was absolutely amazing.
Wow.
So yeah, so if you're gonna hunt. I mean, by all means, enjoy the sport. I think there's a lot to it. It's just we got a comment on our fish video, that I just wasted. By all means, if you're not a hunter and you hate my guts, email me. I promise you, if you got
we
to know
welcome
me,
all the comments, but if
Yeah.
you can leave comments like that, I want to tell you right now, you come to this door right here, show your cowardly freaking face, and I personally will answer the door and say, Rodney,
Rodney's-
get him.
Rodney's right over
Sick
there.
'em.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. There's a knock on the door, Mike. So the bottom line is, I mean, we harvested some deer last year. I only harvested one. We harvested one each, and I want a deer meat. I've got 5 bundles left. I will harvest a deer this year. So it's for me. I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm not the guy out there. I know you look around. There was a day.
I'm kidding.
There was a day, and
I'm kidding. I love your outdoor haunted house.
you know
That's
what?
my
I
favorite.
do like to. I mean, when you shoot a nice buck with horns, it's it's a story piece. I mean, I can grab every set of horns that I have, and I can tell you the story,
That's the key.
or the fish,
That's the key.
the 7-pounder.
Well, even if it's not, what'd you call it, skin?
Skin mount.
Even if it's not a skin mount, you're capturing the memory.
Yeah.
You're capturing.
Oh yeah. That's
It is. That's what you want to.
right.
That's what you want to capture.
Yeah. Even the skunk hide that Steve is holding.
A little more, Steve. A little more. There we go. Oh,
And there's no limit on skunks.
and- Really?
Mike, you know how to stop a skunk from smelling? You know how to stop a skunk from smelling?
Nope.
Hold his nose.
Hold
He
his
can't
nose.
smell a darn thing. So anyway, Mike, how we doing on time? I
We're
know we're
good.
getting close.
Yeah,
Don't
let's get-
forget we have a camping trip,
Oh, snap.
Mike.
Say it isn't so.
We're going to be doing that. What else we got coming up? We got gator season. We're going to be taking Steve out to kill his gators. We're hoping to get that out this weekend. What else we got, Mike? Anything? Oh my gosh.
No, we get every Monday morning, 8 a.m. on 104.1.
104.1
Check out Rodney
with
Rogers.
Russ and Monsters, Carlos, Angel, Jimmy, and the guys. We do that every Monday morning, and my gosh, we just have a blast doing it. I can't thank them enough. So if you want to sponsor that spot, by all means, call Real Radio 104.1 or Sales Center.
Good point.
They'll hook you up.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be the cheapest rate on the 104.1 at one of the best times out there. So I don't set the rate. I don't
But
even know
the
if
most
they'll do it,
appreciated.
actually.
You'll give them the most appreciation they've ever
Oh,
gotten
yeah,
from
and
you.
it would keep me on the show. I don't personally set a rate, or I don't even know if they'll do it, but I guarantee you, if you say, I want to give you money to keep Rodney on there, they'll take the money. I'm just saying. By all means. Do
I'm
it. And you can do it
betting.
here, too, for that matter. So, anyway, Mike, you got anything?
I love it.
Right on.
I love the spot, man.
We're gonna be here for a while. I am Rodney Rogers. We are out of here. And as my mama said 18 million times, you kids get outside and stay.